G'day, Piros here, and guess what? I'm back on the wingding and here to talk about the new Duotone Skybrid, not Skybird, Skybrid. So it's been no secret, I've been four driving sort of pretty well close to a year now, so I actually haven't wingdinged for a very long time. So the boys at Surffx said, come on down and try one of these out. So when I went to pick it up, I noticed my old board was still there. So this is what I used to ride, it's a 5.5. It's like 27 inches, 105 litres. Now, I've got a really dud knee. I can't actually kneel and get up, so I actually have to do an uphaul start. So I'll show you that in the video here. So that means I have to stand on the board first and then lift the wing up and get going from that. I can't do the kneel and get up as everyone does it. I'm actually getting my knee replaced in a month, but don't want to carry on about that. So that's about the smallest board I can ride. So I've gone from that to the new Skybridge. So that's 5.5, this is 5.10. So it's 22.7 inches and it's 105 litres. And this thing is actually quite amazing. I've been out on it. So it's this is actually 1 kilo lighter than this board. Can you believe it? So whole new construction, everything, the whole design of the board's different. I'll turn it around here. So, you know, like, do you go to the hybrid from your old board, the old SLS here? So you've got to work out what kind of wingdinger you are. For me, number one for wingdinging, I like going downwind. That's my number one thing. Then surfing, and then, you know, I'll mow the lawn every now and then, or I'll, you know, sometimes I like going the seaway, but I generally more like going downwind. That's why this board really drew my attention. Now, I don't jump because of my knee, so that's why I don't go on a small board. So, do you go from the old SLS to one of these new ones? Well, if you're around the 5.5, that's a 5.10. There's one underneath it, which is a 5.8, which I would have preferred, maybe. It's 85 litres, but I wouldn't be able to uphaul on that. Beautiful looking board though. So if you're around this 5.3, 5.5 size, and you go to that and you go, well, do I get rid of this? Do I get replaced with one of these? Well, you know, for me, it's a very easy answer. Yes, this has now replaced that. I've been out on, I'll talk to you about that a bit more. But you know, if you're riding the smaller boards, the 4.5s, 4.11s, all those type of ones, and you like jumping and all that, well, this would be a good second board, and you keep that. Even this has got foot straps, yes, you could still jump it, but it's 5.10. You're not going to be doing the stupid rotations and all that on it. But for light wind and for downwinding and messy conditions and pointing upwind, and it just makes life really easy, and I really, really like it. So you can see the difference in the bottom profiles here. Massive difference, hey? So, you know, does that make my ass look big standing next to that? Like, it's a huge difference. So it's not just like, you know, it's not just a few inches, but everything's just drawn out. So it's really a lot more efficient. So the start's easier, low wind starts easier, but for downwinding, it's super, super forgiving. Like I said, I can still uphaul it. I get on and uphaul it, you know, at 22.7 wide can get a bit tricky, but I'm still doing it. If you want to see it, I'll just go to one here, have a look at this. Now, this was like, you know, that's about as bad as it gets, because yesterday it's thumping northerly, and today it swung around to a southerly, so it's all seasick, choppy, lumpy. So, you know, and the wind wasn't great, and I was only on a 5 metre, but I still got up and got going. And it's a very forgiving board to ride on the downwinds. So with my old fatty here, sometimes like on the downwinds, when you're coming down and you muck up, and then say you may be downwinding in the switch position, and you come down and you touch down, that's a lot of area to pick up. So when you push in, the rebound is quite difficult. And again, I'll go to, let's just cut some vision riding this one today. That guy out there is following me on my 4-drive filming. Skybro, top job. You see, so overall, it's just easier, and that's what I'm all about. I'm not trying to make things harder, trying to ride these micro boards, super skinny. You know, like 22.7, that's not like crazy skinny. It's a good proportional size. It's got this crazy little cut out the tail. Oh, can't tell you too much about that. Seems to work. Duotone got the Spencer brothers on board this year, which is just pretty sick. So I'm assuming they've had a lot to do with this. But anyway, look, I'll just shut up for a moment. Let's just go and cut and have you know, because I've been riding a 4-drive board that's only 18 wide, getting back onto this, it feels so much better. When I hopped onto this, it's like sort of getting back onto a footpath. But hey, you know, they got their job. I mean, sort of, you know, if you're mowing the lawn or you're sort of, you know, you're out in some super choppy conditions, stability-wise, they're pretty close, hey. I would probably say this just a touch more stable, but the extra length when I'm doing my uphaul start, so what used to happen on this is I'd jump up, grab the wing, and then I'd lean forward, and the shorter leg, I'd sink the nose and I'd go over, so this extra length seemed to really help. You can see the boxes, they brought the boxes forward now, so that's, I was on my code 980S, so that was a light. I actually had it pretty well far up the front. I knocked it back an inch just to see how it'd go, see if there's any difference. I really didn't notice anything, but that seems to be right. Everything else seems to be quite, like, I can't comment on the foot strap positions because they've never ever been right for me, but I don't jump, so I don't care, so that worked really well. So I came back in and looking at this board, and Guy, like I said, Guy was filming me on my foil drive board, and I thought, oh well, I'll go and put the foil drive on this and give it a crack. And so because these super wide fat boards don't work well on a foil drive, so the only reason I'm showing you this because, you know, say, do you buy this as a second board or your replacement board? If you want to buy it for a second board, another good reason to buy it is if you want to get into foil driving, hey, this thing works. And the 5.8, the one below it, would be super sick, hey. But anyway, so I put it on. I did have a connection issue with it though, because it's got carbon boxes. So all I had to do was, with the remote in my hand, I just had to keep it on the EVA grip, and that I had full connection, but you did have to get up and you had to have the board almost foiling before you got up and pop up. So a little bit tricky. Foil drive do an external antenna, which I'd probably recommend you get it. But anyway, just have a look at this. So what I did, I went 1K upwind and just turned around and came downwind, and hey, it was great. And it was like, it wasn't the most ultimate like downwind foil drive board, but hey, it was really easy to ride. And it was probably one of the easiest foil drive, other than connectional issue, but getting up, super, super easy. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, like, I'm no young buck. I don't want to go out there flogging myself. You know, if I like to go out, you know, we're in the turn of the season here. We've still got a little bit of west in it. And I like going out with a little bit longer board. You can get going. I don't want to go out in the sinkers. All my mates who went out yesterday and, you know, and they went out on too small a board, they got stuck. I didn't get stuck, I was on this because it starts really low wind. Okay, so just back in summary. It's a kilo lighter, but the weight is really well balanced, and you notice that when you're foiling. On my wingding and on the foil drive, I had my code 980S, and so everything I was in there today, the foil drive, the code foils, and these duotone boards, everything's at Surffx. So drop in and see the boys and have a look at it all. They got the full range there. So I'll just cut to some more footage and just see me just muck around there. And thanks again to Guy for filming. But hey, this is Piero signing off. Joy of Duotone. You.